Hi, I'm Kenny Leigh of Kenny Leigh and Associates. Our firm exclusively represents men in the area of family law. We have offices throughout the entire state of Florida to help you. I'm here today with our firm president, Stefani Nolan, and we're going to talk about injunctions. Stephanie, basically, what is an injunction?
An injunction is normally referred to as a restraining order, and basically what it does is it keeps people apart.
Okay, so you say keeps people apart. Does that mean that anybody can just go in and say, I want an injunction against this individual because I want him to stay away from me?
No.
All right, what do you have to do?
You have to have fear, or you have to have a physical altercation that has taken place.
Okay, so technically you have to believe that there's imminent danger for an injunction to get granted by a court. So let's say an injunction is entered against you or against the husband, and the husband can the husband speak to the victim or anybody associated with the victim?
No. Third parties are not. You're not allowed to go through a third party to be able to communicate to the person that is petitioning the court.
Okay, for example, you can't say to your friend, hey, tell her XYZ.
Right.
That's right.
Cannot.
Okay, and that's where we get to the difference. An injunction is a civil matter, correct?
Correct.
Now, does that mean they cannot go to jail for an injunction?
Not in the original. It's a civil injunction, but if you violate it, then it can become a criminal matter.
Okay, what does that mean? How do you violate it? And it's a misdemeanor if you violate it, correct?
Correct.
All right, and how can you violate an injunction?
By calling, texting is very common, emailing, going to that person's house or business.
Yeah, and commonly there's a 500 feet. You can't go within 500 feet. You can get exceptions, especially if there are children, or sometimes people work close to each other. But generally speaking, it's a 500-foot radius.
Right.
All right. How long does your average injunction last?
On average, 6 months to a year. Some are done on a permanent basis. Those are usually your more serious injunctions.
All right, well, let's say it is for a year or any amount of time, but does that mean the injunction has to last forever, or is there a way a person can go back and get the injunction dismissed?
Yes, you can go back and file a motion to dissolve the injunction to have the court reconsider after a period of time whether or not the injunction should be dissolved.
Okay, does there have to be something that happens in order to allow you to go back? In other words, does there have to be what's called a substantial change in circumstances for you to go back to the court?
No, you do not. Essentially what the court's going to want to see is have you been complying with the injunction? Nothing has happened that's put the petitioner in fear, and basically the injunction has worked and there's no longer a need for it.
Okay, so essentially if there's already an injunction in place, if there is the slightest deviation or you make a judge nervous at all, you will not get that dissolved. I can promise you that. All right, if you have any more questions about injunctions, please go to our website, divorcemenonly.com, or call us. Again, Kenny Leigh and Associates, our firm exclusively represents men in the area of family law throughout the entire state of Florida.